Good afternoon. My name is Joe Bandel, and I am the last Rosicrucian. We're going to continue our talking about rational atheists, social enforcers, and organic Gnostics, because it's important that you understand these terms and how I use these terms. They're new terms, but they're terms that are designed to avoid the censors on the internet. They're designed to avoid stereotyping. They're designed to avoid the emotional triggering that people are doing. And I believe they're more accurate. When you really get down to it, they kind of cut through the crap. So, just as the rational atheists struggled to find the spirit world and spirit, but failed, while a new type of humanity called social enforcers discovered the spiritual worlds, but failed to find God, a new type of humanity that is just emerging has discovered God or the divine in all living things. I call this new type of humanity organic Gnostics, because they have discovered the divine within all living things, within the organic world, within the vital life force. The realms of the spirit are infinite, and for the social enforcers, there is no bridge between the physical world and the spiritual worlds. It's all or nothing. Leave the physical, enter the spiritual. They continuously struggle against physical life itself in an effort to escape into the purely spiritual worlds where they can reunite with God. This is something that they cannot do until the death of their physical bodies. For them, they don't want to be here. But the organic Gnostics have discovered the divine, discovered God in all things that exist, and that includes the physical world as well. They have the ability to be multidimensional, experiencing spiritual things while in physical bodies, and experiencing the divine in all living things. The social enforcer escapes into a world of fantasy and creates spiritual things and experiences spiritual things, but they always have to come back to physical reality. They can't bring it with them. There is a barrier that prevents them from living in both worlds at the same time. The organic Gnostic perceives themselves as both a physical being and a spiritual being, and they have the ability to integrate both harmoniously into their soul, into their singular soul, integrated soul. Unlike rational atheists who consider the social collective, the group, the collective, as God, recognizes God in themselves and in others, within each individual soul. The social enforcer is still looking for God, while the organic Gnostic recognizes the God that is inside themselves as well, even if it is not yet recognized. For the social enforcer, the spirit is the ideal, the goal, the unattainable, the otherworldly. They can't reach it in this physical life. The spirit is God. They're all too aware of their own physical natures and think of themselves as less than spirit, while the organic Gnostics think of themselves as more than spirit. What has happened is that the organic Gnostics have found God within themselves, within their hearts, and in doing so they have found God within the hearts of others as well, not only within the hearts of others, but within all of nature and within the hearts of all living things. In this way, the organic Gnostic seeks heaven here on earth and has the ability to find it. Okay, if you haven't gathered, what I do is I have a little bit that I read, and then I try to clarify that. Sorry about the stumble, but it's all right. Now, I'm trying to describe three groups of people that are really factors. There's actually a fourth group, which I call the survivalist, and they are like a primitive, they're going to become organic Gnostics, but they're just starting the path. Organic Gnostics are graduates. They've just finished the path. This Earth, Gaia, is just finishing a great cycle, and it's entering a new cycle. And the organic Gnostics have successfully integrated the strengths of both the rational atheists and the social enforcers. It's what I'm trying to do is really kind of help people get their minds around the idea of rational atheists don't believe in the spiritual world. They don't believe in life after death. They believe in science, artificial intelligence, computers. They believe in the mind. And because they don't believe in the spiritual side of things, they make community, they make family, they make government, they make religion their God. They make social work their God, because it's as far as they can go. Social enforcers, on the other hand, are the spiritual extremists. They know that there is an unseen world. They know that there is a spiritual world. They know that awareness exists after the death of the physical body. And the problem they have is that they're trying to get it through their head, from the head. They're trying to, that it is a mental concept to them. It is a spiritual concept which is beyond a mental concept. But it's not, it's too easy for them to leave their heart. Okay. And they can't integrate their humanity. They can't integrate their shadow self. They can't integrate. They believe that in duality is good and evil. Okay, so do the rational atheists. They're going to believe in the duality as good and evil. They can't get to the one side, so it's the enemy. The organic Gnostics take this concept of duality and think of it as male and female, because in the organic world, that's how duality expresses itself. So you're looking at one group of people, which I call organic Gnostics, and they look at duality as something that is sacred, as something that is loving, as something that is like the embrace of male and female, like the yin-yang symbol that has two opposites that are merged together to create stability. So they're looking at duality as something we find in ourselves. We find a balance. We each find a balance of male and female within ourselves. And we find that in other people too. We don't need the extremes. We don't need conflict. Duality is conflict, because we find in that, finding that balance within ourselves, we find that balance within others, and we find divinity within ourselves and within others. And that divinity is balanced as well. So just kind of toss around these three groups of people, because they're the powers in today's world. They are the ones that are trying to change the world through violence, and where they're trying to create authority. This is the social enforcers trying to be the external authority over everybody. The rational atheists are the ones that are trying to do everything through logic and reason and through computers, through soulless computers. They're both dangerous, even if they have the best of intentions. This is the point. If there's a point to this, both of these are enemies. They're dangerous. We can be allies to a limited degree, but ultimately what they want is not acceptable to the organic Gnostic. And the organic Gnostic path is the path that I am trying to share with people, because it's a new path and it's a balanced path of male and female. And it's the way forward. It's the way of the heart, because the heart also is balance, the place of balance. The heart balances the spirit, the heart balances the physical world. Just kind of think about this a little bit. I'll be returning to these concepts as they get more familiar. They'll be easier to deal with. Consider supporting. If you can be a patron, try to do it. $1 a month gives you access to other videos that are dealing with also interesting material. That's not a lot, guys, but it would help. It would help. Spread this words, share this, subscribe. All of the information is on the webpage. And thanks for your time. I know your time is valuable. My time is valuable too. I'm trying to do this because I believe in it. Thank you.